Good evening, and thank you for joining us. My name is Kevin Bergerson, and I am the Programs Assistant Manager for the Colon Cancer Alliance. And on behalf of the patient navigators and the entire patient support team from the Colon Cancer Alliance, I would like to welcome you to Volunteer 101 Informational Webinar. This is the 15th installment of the Conversations About Colon Cancer webinar series, which the Colon Cancer Alliance has created to provide you with the latest information on colorectal cancer awareness, issues, and trends you need to know. At this time, it's my privilege to introduce Nancy Butterfield, Associate Director, Patient Support and Outreach for the Colon Cancer Alliance. Nancy, welcome. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, Kevin. And thanks, welcome everyone, and it's so happy you can make it tonight. Thank you for coming. Tonight we'll look at different volunteer opportunities to raise awareness about colorectal cancer. But first I'd like to introduce a special guest, our new CEO, Michael Sapienza. As most of you know, the Colon Cancer Alliance and CRIS for Life merged this year. We have many exciting plans, and without further delay, I'm passing the baton to Michael to tell us a bit more. Take it away, Michael.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate the warm welcome. And just to let everybody know, I actually did just touch down in a warm welcome. So I just flew from Washington, D.C. to Fort Myers. I'm headed out to a conference for the National Health Council to speak about our new clinical trial database, which should be a great time tomorrow. So I just really wanted to take this opportunity to introduce myself. I know I appeared in January also on the webinar, but I want to reiterate again how excited I personally am about this merger. I also just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself, and then kind of what I think about volunteerism and where we're going as an organization with volunteers. So to make a long story short, unfortunately my mom did pass away from colon cancer on Mother's Day in 2009. And quickly our family kind of rallied around the cause and decided to do something about this and formed CRIS for Life, in early 2010. Very soon after that, basically what we saw is, this opportunity to collaborate with other organizations, to work towards a cure, to work to increase our patient and family services, to do as much as we can to prevent this disease. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I always thought from the beginning was that our organization was fractured. So I think a lot of you probably listening are thinking, it doesn't matter if I volunteer for CRIS for Life, or if I volunteer for Colon Cancer Alliance, if I volunteer for Get Your Rear in Gear, or whomever it is. It's about the cause. It's about helping others, about getting involved and doing something to make a difference. And I will tell you that that was exactly my sentiment, and it's one of the reasons why we merged. It's because, my mom passed away from this disease, and could we do more if we were together? So, just to break down where we're kind of headed in 2016 and beyond, it goes into three main programs. So we have our Research and Cure program. So it's called the CRIS for Life Colon Cancer Research Fund. So we are actually looking into 2017 at identifying a way to potentially give seed grants or pilot grants to maybe 30, 40, 50 junior investigators across the country. So meaning, right now there's organizations out there that are giving $1 million to MD Anderson or giving $1 million to X university in X state. But is that really incentivizing new ideas? Is that telling the junior investigators, the young people out there, or even let's not say the young people, anybody out there to come up with new ideas so we can have another drug, another therapy, another way of treating this disease to make it a chronic illness? So our goal will be, this year and beyond, is to make sure that we raise funds and we have volunteers like yourselves to be able to do that, to kind of move towards a place where our research dollars are making a huge impact in the fight against this disease. So the second piece is our patient and family support services. As you know, you have your wonderful team on the phone with you today, and they've done such an incredible job spearheading a lot of the efforts that we're doing. We had our staff retreat about 2 weeks ago. Gosh, it seems like 2 days ago. And we talked about a lot of different things. What is successful? Blue Hope Nation, Colon Town, our webinar series, which you're on now, our conference, our patient symposium. But what are some of the things that we can do in the future that can help you and your families, survive this disease, educate you, provide resources around the disease? So, we're looking potentially at a survivorship guide. We are indeed, and Kevin, I hope I'm not stealing your thunder, we are indeed actually putting on a patient symposium/summit this fall/winter for stage 4 patients, and a bunch of other things on the horizon, including a clinical trial database and some other things that we can tweak to make sure that we are reaching as many patients as possible. So our third pillar is actually our prevention and awareness pillar. As you know, Chris for Life has done the Love Your Butt campaign. Colon Cancer Alliance has the Undies. They have the Screen This too. Well, where we're going in 2016 is we are going to convene a group of insurance companies. So you've heard of Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, et cetera, to come together and really say, can we get to 80% screening by 2018? Can Colon Cancer Alliance and our friends and our families, et cetera, play a part in making sure that many people get screened by year 2018? And we'll be leading into 2017 with an exciting, potentially national campaign that's both, let's say over the TV and the airways, et cetera, but also in the grassroots. So people that can't necessarily afford screening, can we provide assistance through the local grassroots area to make sure what we're doing? So the last piece I want to say is our community. So how do we grow our community? How do we make ourselves like Susan G. Komen? How do we become the next Leukemia and Lymphoma Society? And how do we reduce the deaths from this disease? And it's by way of you, okay? So you will play, whether you're a patient, whether you're a caregiver, whether you're a friend, whomever you are, you're going to volunteer, and you're going to play an integral role in us moving forward as an organization. I want to see 250,000 people on the lawn of the White House or at the Capitol dressed in blue eventually. And so, whether it is that you are helping at an event, whether it is you're calling and helping us stuff envelopes, whatever it is, I can't tell you. I know when, from the time that I was a kid, my mom would always say, Michael, this is an incredibly important thing. And I know when she was sick, and she said, I'm sick of seeing pink in March instead of blue. And I seriously, I took it to heart, and I think that's what our volunteers can do day in and day out. They can take us across this finish line to get us to where we need to go. So, Kevin, Nancy, and our entire team, and for all of you, I just want to tell you how excited I am about the opportunities for this year. And we're in this political season. You hear all these politicians thanking their volunteers. Well, I'm going to tell you, it is because of you where we're going to go. So thank you very much for having me.
How's that for a little passion? Wow. Thank you, Michael. Thanks for being here tonight. And every time I hear him speak, I get energized all over again. So I hope that you guys all feel the same way. We're just very happy to have Michael on board and really excited about the future. And I know you're traveling, Michael. Thank you so much. He pulled his car off the road just to talk with us today. So do thank you for that. And have a great trip. And thank you for coming.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks. So as I said, we'll talk about different volunteer opportunities tonight, from being a buddy to dress in Blue Day tips to how to help at an Undy to fundraising. And as Michael said, it takes a village, and you that volunteer for the Colon Cancer Alliance are why we're here today, and you help us get our message out. And I just wanted to thank everybody for all you do all year long, and also for coming tonight. Thank you very much. First up, is John Lloyd. John is a 7-year stage 3 survivor, a colon cancer alliance buddy and moderator for our group chat. He participates in many outreach events in his community, and he serves on the North Carolina Advisory Board. John is going to share some of his best practices for outreach. John, take it away.
Thank you, Nancy. Well, at the start, I will always remember when I was first told that I had cancer and how scary a time that was for me. Volunteering is one way. Now I can pay it forward to the people who helped me then, and the Colon Cancer Alliance certainly had people there helping me in the beginning. March is just around the corner and is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. For the past 4 years, I have authored a proclamation that the governor of the state has signed. As a volunteer, you can check and see if anyone has done a proclamation in your state or even do one for your local city or county. There are many things you can do in March, like the Dress in Blue Day. If there's not an event already planned in your area, just jump in and organize one. I started by just being someone who was available when asked to help man a table for a couple of events. It started with a 5K race and a survivorship summit, and then that morphed into a church health fair. And I really enjoyed interacting with people and sharing the screening message. Before long, event organizers were starting to email me to see if and when I was available. CCA makes it very easy by providing all the materials and support that you might need. The National Colorectal Cancer Roundtable has spearheaded a movement called 80 by 18, where they're trying to get 80% of the people who are of screening age screened by 2018. The Colon Cancer Alliance, along with over 650 other organizations, have signed the 80 by 18 pledge. And 80 by 18 makes a good starting point. The fact that colon cancer is far behind the screening rates of breast and prostate cancer is sad, especially when the fact is that colon cancer is preventable more than the other diseases. When I was first diagnosed, I was mostly interested in patient advocacy and treatment decisions. Now, as a long-term survivor, I have the luxury of focusing more on prevention and early detection. Colorectal cancer is one of the few cancers that can actually be prevented through proper screening. Breast and prostate cancers are much more common, but they're also more curable. Screening tests for breast and prostate cancer detects active disease after it has started. A colonoscopy can actually prevent cancer before it starts. When a polyp is found in a colonoscopy and removed, as happens in 25 to 50% of the cases, that is often a cancer that is actually prevented. Samples are sent off to a pathologist who may identify the cells as hyperplastic or precancerous. It generally takes about 10 years for a polyp to transform into a cancer. So a colonoscopy every 10 years is usually adequate protection. You can save lives yourself by getting the word out about screening, man tables at races, health fairs, or any event where you're welcomed. You can also help patients directly in social media like our Facebook groups, Blue Hope Nation with over 6,000 members already, and the thousands of members in Colon Town groups. If you know someone in treatment, it can also be most helpful to make specific offers to them, like offer to drive them to or from a treatment or offer to take them grocery shopping, whatever need you think that you can fill. Specific offers are usually more easily accepted and more easily considered by the person. The CCA staff have always been generous and helpful with brochures, wristbands, blue ribbons, pins, and all of the things you need to make a event table inviting and a place where people will want to stop. Nancy, thank you for letting me share how much fun volunteering can be, and I will turn the microphone back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. That was awesome. Thank you very much. Well, next up, we have Jeannie Moore to talk about the Buddy program. She's a Colon Cancer Alliance co-founder, a certified patient navigator, and a community manager. You can often see her, find her in the looking for a buddy or on our Facebook, Blue Hope Nation. Take it away, Jeannie.
Thank you, Nancy. Great to be here with all of you tonight. I know I speak for everyone here at the Colon Cancer Alliance that we are so grateful for our wonderful volunteers, and we know that you are the backbone of our organization. You know, many people survive their cancer journey and they move on with their lives, trying not to talk or think about it again, and I understand that. And then there are others like you who want to put meaning to their suffering, who want to be the light at the end of the tunnel, who want to make the next person's journey on this cancer path just a little bit easier than what you experience. And so you become a volunteer. You are the gift that helps us help others. One easy way to volunteer is to be a buddy to a newly diagnosed patient. Being a buddy is easy peasy. Little time commitment is necessary, and you have complete control as to when you can take on a buddy. I do my best to limit requests to no more than once a month, and because I match up by stage, I wouldn't match up a stage 2 buddy with a stage 4 patient and vice versa. I match people up by stage, location of mets, treatment options, radiation, surgery, gender, age, and geography. I understand life gets busy, so if I ask you to be a buddy and it's just not a good time for you, simply let me know that you need to pass on this one. This is why I always ask 2 or 3 buddies at a time in the event that one can't. I don't want you to ever feel any pressure. I never give out your email or your phone number. I ask you to contact the buddy within a week, either phone or email, and it's up to you if you want to give the buddy your number. You simply share your story and offer to help answer any questions they may have. Sometimes 1 or 2 calls or emails is all there is, but for most buddies, they become lifelong good friends. Once I make the connection with you, I'm out of it. No need to keep me in the loop unless you find out that they need more help, like financial resources or side effect management that you didn't have experience with. Our helpline staff does a pretty good job of making sure that they receive all the information they need, but some may slip through the cracks. Simply let me know what your buddy needs, and I'll make sure to contact them and offer my assistance. In case you didn't know, we have a wonderful new financial assistance guide on our website. Anyone is welcome to download it. It's filled with many financial resources, so take a look. If you like Facebook, boy, do we have pages for you. We love when our buddies post and share their story and experiences on our Blue Hope Nation Facebook page. Blue Hope Nation is a closed group and easy to join. The only people who see your posts are the members in Blue Hope Nation. You will find it to be a caring, supportive group of survivors and caregivers who are all supporting each other along this journey. You may also find yourself becoming an unofficial buddy or friend to many, as well as find support and information for yourself. We post all the latest news and events to help keep you all up to date. Your participation on Blue Hope Nation is a big help, not only to myself, but also to our wonderful moderators. The other Facebook page many of our volunteers belong to is Town. Many of you know the mayor, Erica Hanson-Brown. This group is a bit smaller and more focused, with different neighborhoods like Lynchville, Caregiver Circle, etc. It's also a closed group, and Erica has her procedures in place, so there are a few more steps to join, so you can take advantage of all the neighborhoods in Town. It's another great place to support patients in treatment. And lastly, our live chats. Our chat room is accessed from the website. Easy to find under the tab Get Support. It is open 24/7, but a facilitator is only there during our scheduled chat. We love, love, love when our buddies and volunteers pop in to support the newbies, as your stories give them hope. Wonderful friendships develop in our chat room. Please remind your buddies, if they have a question or are struggling with side effects, that I am there for the newly diagnosed side effect chat, 11:30 to 12 Eastern, Monday through Friday, and we'll be able to help them in a slower environment than our daily hour, which follows immediately at 12 to 1 Eastern. The daily hour is for everyone, so pop in if you can on your lunch hour if you're on the East Coast, and have coffee with us if you're on the West Coast. Our Stage Forum live chat is specifically for those survivors and caregivers living with Stage 4 disease, regardless if you are in treatment or are NED. Our volunteer moderators are simply the best, and their stories give hope to all. 2 of our moderators are 10-year Stage 4 survivors. Stop by any Tuesday night, 7 to 8 Eastern, and meet them. You know, I heard a saying years ago that really struck with me, and that is that for many who develop cancer or experience some other trauma in their life, friends become strangers and strangers become friends. That it's easier to share and open up to someone who is traveling or has traveled this path than it is to talk to our own family and friends. Thank you for being that stranger who then becomes that new friend. Working with our volunteers has always been the best part of my job. I am always available to you if you have any questions about your own follow-up care, side effects, needing resources, anything at all. I'm always available to you. And thanks again for coming tonight. Back to you, Nance.
Thank you, Jeannie. Now we're going to move on to Katie. She is a communications senior manager, and if you have any questions about how to use your Twitter or any kind of social media or any kind of communications, Katie's your person. Katie, take it away.
Thanks, Nancy. So again, my name is Katie Matusik, and I'm the Senior Communications Manager here at the Colon Cancer Alliance. I've actually been here for over 5 years working in marketing communications, and I'm here to talk to you today about some communications basics, some communications 101. So starting off, we have share your story and show your personality. Your best asset is you. Many of you already know this, and I know that you're out there every day talking to whoever will listen about why they should get screened. The thing is that facts and statistics might make people stop and pay attention, but it's actually going to be your story that's going to stick in their head and make them take action. Our brains are actually wired so that we process information best when it's told through a story. So go out there and tell people what makes your story unique, what you wish you would have known, why you wish you would have gotten screened. I promise it is going to make a difference. Reach out to local media. Local media, this is your town newspapers, your local TV stations, your local radio stations. They're always looking for great content and good stories. Get online and send them an email. Follow them on Twitter, follow them on social media. It's going to take a little practice and it's going to take some persistence, but don't give up. Know your audience. So this is a key one. In Blue Hope Nation or Colon Town, you know there's no such thing as too much information. But if you're speaking at your workplace, there might be. You know, the way you speak with other survivors is going to be very different from how you talk to the general public or media. Don't use acronyms like CRC or NED. You know, Joe at the cash register is not going to know what CRC means. You got to spell it out for them and use colorectal cancer, especially when you're talking with the media. Ask questions and don't get discouraged. This is the most important point. You cannot give up. You got to go out there and try again, try again, try again. This is especially true if you're going to talk to any kind of media or ask for sponsorships. I know my fundraisers out there all know this. It's always worth it to ask, and you got to try again. The worst that can happen is that they say no, and then you know what? You try again. Lastly, and this is one of my favorite tips, connect with media personalities on social media. Nancy, can you go back one slide real quick? Sorry. Thank you. So this is a great trick. You know, find your local media and follow them on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or even Snapchat. See what they care about, what they're posting about, and what they're covering. And then try directly tweeting at them. You know, the other week I was trying to call my local government, and I was calling and I was calling and I was calling, and I kept getting a busy signal. And so I finally, in a just fit of desperation, just sent them a tweet and just said, you know, hey, I can't get through. They actually tweeted back at me within 10 minutes and said, give me your contact information and we will have someone from our office call you. It was amazing. So it's great, which is also a great reminder just to follow your congressmen and local representatives. It really does work. All right, next slide now.
Thank you, Katie.
All right, take advantage of multimedia. So multimedia is photos, slideshows, and videos. And this is especially true on Facebook, where photos and videos actually get almost double the engagement as just your general status update. So if you want to get things seen, make sure you include a picture or a really catchy graphic with them. Follow others for ideas. As we already talked about, follow media and your local representatives. It's also great to follow bloggers and other nonprofits. How many out there are following the Colon Cancer Alliance on social media? I hope that is all of you. But if you're not, check us out. We put out some great tools that you can share and retweet and even repurpose and make your own, especially as we're coming up to March and Dress in Blue Day. If you ever need anything at all, feel free to reach out to me or anyone else on our team. We will do our best to get you whatever you need in whatever format you need. I would also encourage you guys to connect with other patients and survivors on Colontown and Blue Hope Nation, just as Jeannie just said, which is a great place to see what other events people are hosting, what they're doing, and meet other people in your local area. Tailor your message for the platform. Facebook is huge. So Facebook, if you want to get out to the most number of people, this is the way to go. As of 2014, 72% of American adults use Facebook. An interesting thing to also note is that the younger generation is actually moving away from Facebook. Things like Pinterest is mostly for women. Twitter is great for sharing short news, but you've only got 140 characters, so you got to keep it short. So again, it's knowing your audience, knowing the platform. And use hashtags. Hashtags, for those of you who don't know, are those words with the pound or hash symbol in front of them, which help people find posts related to a certain topic. So if you want to be engaging with people who are talking about colon cancer, you can use hashtags like hashtag colon cancer, hashtag colon cancer awareness, hashtag colon cancer month, or hashtag Dress in Blue Day. Lastly, engage with others. Social media is social, which means you need to be engaging with people. It can't just be about you. You got to go onto Facebook and like, comment, share, Twitter. You got to retweet other people. Instagram, you got to hit that like, the little love symbol. People love it when you engage with them and like their stuff. They're going to go check out your stuff. It's how social media works. Lastly, there's YouTube. So you can comment, share, and like. Next slide.
Thank you.
All right, and so if you're not already doing it, follow us on Facebook. We have a bunch of different Facebook pages, including a page specifically for our Undy Run Walk. We have a Spanish Facebook page. As Jeannie mentioned, Blue Hope Nation, and we've got Colon Town. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. We put out a lot of really great resources that we put a lot of time into, so we want to make sure we're getting them out to you guys so that you can get them out to all of your friends and family. And the last thing I just want to say, just reiterate again, we are here for you. So you can always send me an email, send anyone on our team an email. We love to hear all of your ideas and the ways that you guys get the message out there. Back to you, Nance.
Thank you so much, Katie. Up next is Allie Ornitz. Allie is the development manager, and she deals with fundraising. So if you have any questions about fundraising, Allie's the one to talk to. Take it away, Allie.
Thanks, Nancy. Hi, everyone. Like Nancy said, my name is Allie, and I am a development manager here at the Colon Cancer Alliance. And I've had the great fortune to be able to work with many of you today. So for all the newbies out here, I just wanted to give some quick tips and tricks about fundraising. The first thing I'd like to talk about is picking something you find enjoyable. If you're not enjoying it, you shouldn't do it. You're motivated by this cause, and we want you to do it in a way that you find enjoyable. If you like to bake, have a bake sale. If you're active in your child's PTA or their sports clubs, it's a good way of getting more people involved. Have a game night that raises money for colon cancer. It's really up to you what you're interested in and how you want to turn that into a way that you can raise money. Another thing I'd like to talk about is giving yourself plenty of time, especially if you're having an event like I mentioned before. It's crazy how fast things will come up. Sometimes you have permitting issues. Sometimes there's things that pop up that are unexpected. If you're going to have an offline event, the best way to do it is giving yourself plenty of time. Budget your time wisely. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help. Most of our patients and survivors can relate to the fact that you can't get through a colon cancer journey by yourself. The same is true for fundraising. If you're not so great at the social media stuff, like Katie asked before, have a friend that can do that for you. If you're not so great with making the ask, have somebody on your team that can do that. It's all about putting those on your team that you trust and people that you know will help you in accomplishing your goals. Online and offline fundraising. Sometimes this can be tricky, but it's actually not. Online fundraising is a way that you can raise money online. We have a ton of different ways that I'm going to talk about in a minute that you can set up something really quickly and raise money online. Offline means having an event. You can also do these things together. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. And I'll talk about that in just a second. Lastly, people are going to give to you because you ask them. The ask is the most important part. Next slide, please. These are some easy fundraising options. The one on the right-hand side is our fundraising toolkit. It's available on our free download section of our website. These have all the easiest tricks and tips into getting your toes into the fundraising pool. One of our online fundraisers that I talked about is our Blue Star Tributes. This is a fundraising page that's hosted through the Colon Cancer Alliance website. It takes about 30 seconds to set up, and you can customize text, upload photos, and create a custom link that you can share via email or social media. It's also a great way to honor a loved one that may or may not be passed away or is fighting their journey. You can also designate these to raise money for our various campaigns and funds, like our Blue Hope Research Fund or our Blue Hope Financial Assistance Program. Lastly, as many of you know, March is coming up quick, and Dress in Blue Day this year is on Friday, March 4th. Another great way to get people fundraising and to build on the momentum of March is to set up a Dress in Blue Day fundraising page. You can find that at www.dressinblueday.org. There you can create a team where you can get your friends involved, you can set one up for your office, have a little friendly competition, or just create a separate fundraising page. You also get access to all of our free downloads, which include an employee engagement pinup kit, so you can get your office involved, customizable posters that you can hang up at your office or hang up at different businesses around town, and you can also find all of our wonderful March materials as well as all of our regular free downloads that we have in our store that our communications team put together. In short, fundraising can't exist without the word fun, and it can't exist without all of you. Back to you, Nancy.
Thank you so much, Allie. Next is Anita Mitchell-Eisler. Dress in Blue Day was started in 2006 by Anita, an 11-year stage 4 survivor and Colon Cancer Alliance buddy. Anita had just turned 41 when she was diagnosed. In 2009, she partnered with the Colon Cancer Alliance, and Dress in Blue Day was launched nationally. Anita is going to give us some of her best tips for Dress in Blue Day. Anita, take it away.
Thank you, Nancy, for the nice introduction. When I started Dress in Blue Day 10 years ago, it was to bring awareness and encourage screening for colorectal cancer. I'm hoping you will see how you can easily participate and encourage others to get involved with the ready-made materials available for your use. You will want to go to the Dress in Blue page on the CCA website to download what materials you want to use to bring with you. The first thing you're going to do is the ask. Before you go, you want to think about and prepare your short 3-minute story showing your connection to the cause. This treatment, diagnosis, or caregiver story is what makes it personal and is why people will want to help you. Remember, keep it short, sweet. Don't get too graphic about all your bowel movements, etc., but hit on the main points. It's okay to say I had 3 surgeries and 2 years of chemo. Just keep the story moving. Practice on family members a few times until you feel comfortable. The why. They want to get involved because they can save lives. Dress in Blue Day is an awareness event to educate people about this preventable, treatable, and beatable cancer. It's the second leading cause of cancer deaths, yet no one knows how common it is and mostly preventable, and we need to help them to spread the word. This fact usually blows people away. Tip. Be prepared to share screening guidelines. People will want to know when they should be screened after you tell them this fact. You can also throw in that we have a national goal of 80% screening rate by 2018. This is being led by American Cancer Society to show its national priority. And also, most people are familiar with ACS, so this is another push to help you encourage them to do Dress in Blue. Next slide. Where to start? Go to where you have a connection. It can be your place of work, stores you shop at, wherever you are comfortable in telling your story and doing the ask. Example, the first year I started at my children's school, I asked permission from the principal, then I put a notice in the newsletter, not only about Dress in Blue Day, but screening guidelines on colorectal cancer to educate the families at the same time. Another year, I went door to door at a small town with my posters about Dress in Blue Day and asked businesses to put them up and hand out blue screening cards. By the fifth store, someone I met had had a personal connection to the cause. And just a note, so that you know, I had no one say no to me. Every single business in that town said yes. So don't be afraid, because people really are happy to put a poster up. Next slide. To make the most of Dress in Blue Day, make it a fundraiser. My children's school had uniforms, so the kids had to bring $1 if they wanted to wear blue and have a free dress day. You can do a bake sale at work or a contest. It's really anything you want it to do. CCA even has the online fundraising page for you to use. Media. This is huge and can be pretty easy to reach out to. The media is very interested in the local personal story. So I called the paper and told them what I was doing with Dress in Blue Day the first time, way ahead of time. They came out, took pictures of myself with my kids and some of their classmates. This was then published and went out to 1,000+ readers, reaching much more than just the local school community. The same thing when I went door to door in the small town. When I came upon the personal connection, I asked the woman if she would be comfortable sharing her story. She agreed. I called the paper in that local area, told them what I was doing, and they had me take a picture. I sent it in, and they printed the story. Don't forget, neighborhood blogs are another way of showing what you can do. The CCA website has a press release that you can also use, so don't be intimidated by talking to reporters. Just share your story. Take pictures. You can send them in to the CCA contest, but make sure you have permission of the people that you photograph to be published, especially with children. Also, keep a list of all the people that you talked to and who participated so you can go back next year and grow on it. My children's pediatrician, they did just Dress in Blue 3 years in a row. So it's pretty easy. You just go in and ask, and start with just one place of business if you're uncomfortable, and see how it grows. Last but not least, I would write a thank you to whoever participates, a business, your employer, the school, and good luck with your Dress in Blue Day. It's great to see how far it's grown. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. That was some great tips. Thank you so much for sharing. Next, we have Joanna Frezzo. She is the Special Events Associate for the Undy Volunteers. So anything you want to volunteer for an Undy, any questions you have about an Undy, Joanna's your woman. Take it away, Joanna.
Thank you, Nancy. Hi, everyone. Like Nancy said, my name is Joanna Frezzo, and I am the Special Events Associate on the Undy Run Walk team. So first, very briefly, just to let everyone know, what is the Undy Run Walk, you might be asking yourself. So the Undy Run Walk is our 5K Run Walk series. It's happening in 19 cities all over the country this year, which is pretty impressive. And we're going on our 8th year, so we really have a lot of great supporters all over the country, which is so fantastic. But as you can imagine, being based in DC, we need help in each of those local communities. And one of the biggest sources of our help in planning these events are our volunteers. So we have 3 different kinds of volunteers that we source here in the Undy department. First and foremost are our event day volunteers. So anyone that comes out on event day and helps us, and we'll get into a little bit more about what all of those volunteers do a little bit later. The next kind of volunteers are Undy Engagement Committee, or UEC for short. And our UEC members really are our boots on the ground, long-term volunteers that help us in planning the Undy and are really there to see all of the moving parts and what it takes to build an Undy. And we'll go into a little bit more about each of those roles and responsibilities next. And the last way that we work with volunteers are through community events. And community events are a little bit different in that these are organizers all over the country that actually come to us. And maybe they live in a city where there is no Undy, or they were searching online, they found us, and they want to help raise awareness and help raise money in their city. So this goes along with what Ali spoke about earlier in hosting an offline fundraiser, but these are a little bit different in that they're 5Ks. So I help those organizers plan those 5Ks in their city, and they're all volunteer-based. So that's the last kind of volunteer that we use. On to the next slide, please. Thank you. So, like I mentioned, our event day volunteers, they are so critical to our success. We can only usually send about 2 or 3 staff members to each Undy Run Walk, and so we really rely on generous and dedicated volunteers who come early in the morning and help us with the event. They're there 6 a.m. sometimes, 6:30, 7 a.m., and they're with us all morning, and they really are just so pivotal to what we do. We want to make it as easy for people to volunteer on the day of the event as possible, so we have a super quick link on our website and on each actual city-specific page. So if you're interested at all in the Undy, but you don't know where to start, you can just look on the page and click a little button and sign up right there to volunteer, and then I coordinate with you from there, so you have all the information you need. We're also happy to validate any service hours performed by volunteers if they need it for school, different service programs in their communities, whatever they need, we can definitely do that for them. We also sometimes work with volunteers from different companies or organizations. Lots of different companies like Starbucks and Kohl's, just to name a few, they really encourage their volunteers to give back in the community. So we often will work with groups from different organizations like that, and you can even use your volunteer hours actually to earn money for the Colon Cancer Alliance, which is a really fantastic way to not only give back but also help us further. So if that is something you're interested in, we would coordinate with you and get that all set up. On to the next slide, please. So going back to our longer-term volunteers, the UEC members, these are our folks who really have a hand in planning each and every event. We really could not do it without them because, like I mentioned, we can't be in every city. We rely on really invested individuals who might have a connection to the cause and really want to be there from day one to assist us with planning the event. We have various positions, including medical community outreach chairperson, a at-large community outreach chairperson, a public relations and media chairperson, a volunteer coordination chairperson who helps me source volunteers in the community, and also a food and beverage chairperson. So these different roles and responsibilities are just an example of ways that our UEC members help us, and it kind of depends on the city. Some cities, the UEC will, maybe take on more of those responsibilities than others. It just depends on the city. But regardless, we really, really value their help. They help us source sponsors. Some UEC members will assist us in getting water donated for the race or granola bars donated. We've even had UEC members go door to door to different doctors' offices, pounding the pavement, letting people know about the Undy to get registration numbers soaring. So they're really they help us in each and every capacity. And the best part is that we're here every step of the way. So we, tell them exactly what they need to do, and we set them up for success. So these are really our longer longer-term committed volunteers, and we look for them in each city, and we so much appreciate them. Next slide, please. So the last way to get involved in volunteering with the Undy, if there is no Undy in your city, is to host your own community event. And like I said, the community event is a little bit different than an offline fundraiser, just in that it is a 5K or a fun run, a 1-mile run walk, things of that nature. So you and I, you being the organizer and volunteer, would work together one-on-one every step of the way. I specifically coordinate with those volunteers to help them and make sure they're set up for success. So they would research a venue, look into getting the permits, and then I would help them make sure the permits are all filled out properly. And I also help them with flyers, so getting the word out in their community, sending out e-blasts, really anything they need, I help them with. And while I can't actually travel to those events, I'm, again, available at all times just to help them and make sure that they know exactly what they're doing and that they have all of the tools they need. You can register online for community events just like you register for a signature Undy, which is very easy and right on our website. And every community event registrant receives a pair of Undy Run Walk boxers. And I should have mentioned that before, my apologies. But a thing that's a little different about the Undy is that instead of giving out a t-shirt, we actually give each runner or walker a pair of our signature boxer shorts. And this is just a fun way to get people talking and get them a little less embarrassed about the area affected by colon cancer. And that's something that's really unique to us, and we love that, and it's really a fun aspect of the Undy. So everyone gets a pair of boxers as well. Many community event organizers want to honor a loved one and show their support. It might be someone who's currently battling, maybe someone who's unfortunately lost their battle. Whatever stage the person is in, we want to make sure that we support them. And that's where these super dedicated volunteers who plan the community events come in. We also have some other fundraisers happening now that we've merged with Chris for Life, which we're really excited to talk about. These happen also all over the country, and they're a little bit different than the Undy Run Walk series, but you can also volunteer with them and really make a difference in your local community. We have events called Cookies for Chris, a really fun fashion show happening in California pretty soon. We often need volunteers to help staff these events as well. And that can be something as simple as, you know, I'm here, I can help you, what do you need me to do? To more dedicated volunteers who can assist with planning, just like with the Undy Run Walk. So if you're interested in any of those opportunities, you can also find all the information needed on our website as well. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Nancy.
Thank you, Joanna. I want to apologize. As we mentioned, we did merge with Chris for Life, and it's been a bit of a whirlwind the whole month of January, and I was remiss in not including the Scope It Out 5K races as well with the Undy information, which I will get the information in there about the Scope It Out races. But just to tell you a little bit about it, the next race is Sunday, March 20th at Freedom Plaza in Washington, D.C. And it's similar to the Undy in that they also, we need volunteers for this as well. So if you're interested in any of the Scope It Out 5K run walks or any of the Undy information, check it out on our website. And we, like I said, we need volunteers for both, and we do appreciate it. Lastly, I just wanted to introduce our new community outreach volunteer, coordinator, and that's Susie Munoz. She is also in charge of the Latino outreach program, and she's a bilingual patient navigator as well. So she just took that over this month. We're giving her a break and not having her speak on this one, but just wanted to introduce you to Susie, and if you have any questions or want to volunteer, she's the person to talk to. So with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Kevin.
Thank you, Nancy. That was amazing. Having been a volunteer for the Arizona chapter for many years, I know how rewarding giving back to our community can be. We still have a few minutes to answer just a couple questions that have come in that our attendees have raised. As a reminder, to submit a question for consideration, just click on the small plus sign located next to the word question/chat on the webinar control panel on the right side of your screens, and type your question and hit enter. Any questions that we are unable to get to, we'll respond by email just in case we run out of time. We're going to focus on the volunteer questions. There's a couple other survivorship questions. I will have individuals reach out to you directly. But for our volunteer questions, we did have a few come in. We're going to start with a question from Diana. Diana was wondering if there are any volunteers in the Texas area that she could get in contact with, or was she going to be on her own, and what would happen if she wants to be more active with CCA on her own or with a group in Texas?
This is Nancy. I'll answer you. Absolutely. We can connect you with volunteers in your area. If you're not already a volunteer, you can go to our website and you'll find more information under Get Involved, and you can complete a volunteer application there, which will lead you to Susie or myself, and we can help connect you. Another great way to get connected is on Facebook. I don't know if you do Facebook, but the Blue Hope Nation closed group is a private group, so when you comment or post anything on the closed group, it doesn't go to the internet, so it's a private group. People can't search your name and find what you've written. So sometimes just posting in there, as well as Colon Town. Colon Town has their own areas of what the disease you're going through, and people meet up that way as well. But I would say start by completing an application if you're not already a volunteer, and if you are a volunteer, get in touch with either Susie or myself, and we can connect you to other volunteers in the area.
All right, Nancy, there's our next question comes from Maureen. Maureen has asked, how can she get more pamphlets, and is there a flyer about the chat groups list of Facebook groups? She would, like to post in some of those cancer postings.
Well, no, we don't have a flyer, but I can certainly make one very quickly for you if that's not a problem. And we give free materials to all of our volunteers. So again, if you either get in touch with Susie Munoz or me, Nancy Butterfield, you can look on our website to see our contact, or my contact information is nbutterfield@ccalliance.org, and we give materials to our volunteers, no charge. We love that you're going out and doing these things, and we make it as easy as we can for you to do that.
Excellent. And we just got a couple more here. Cheryl would like to know, are there any materials and promotional items, perhaps some blue pins and bracelets, those kinds of things that are available for volunteers for talking to their communities about Dress in Blue Day or an Undy or promoting screening? She knows some of those things can be ordered at a cost, but is there a way for volunteers to get some of those?
Again, like I said, get in touch with us and we'll get you some materials, but I also want to mention that we do have free downloads on our website as well, that you go to the shop section of our website and you can get to the free downloads. And what was the other question? I'm sorry.
Just how they can get their hands on some more of the items, and it sounds like the best way is just to reach out to either Nancy or Susie
Yeah.
Munoz, and they could get that straightened away for you.
And I wanted to address the Dress in Blue Day, so definitely go to dressinblueday.org for free materials there, as well as a lot of good ideas. So there's free materials on our shop section of the website, as well as dressinblueday.org. Thank you.
All righty, and with that, we kind of are running out of time here. So one of the last things here is if you'd like to contact, excuse me, if you in the next few days, you will be getting an email from me for asking feedback on the webinar. I would be very much like to hear your feedback, and you'll get that email about this time tomorrow. All of you in attendance will receive a survey, and we value your opinion. Would be greatly appreciated to hear your honest feedback on how we can make our webinars better. We'd be greatly interested in hearing any future ideas on future topics, and especially how we can do this better next time. Please look for that email tomorrow, and I'm thanking you in advance for your participation. I wish I had more people respond to the survey, so any feedback I get is greatly appreciated. Finally, if you'd like to contact one of our patient navigators, or if you have any other colorectal cancer questions, please contact the Colon Cancer Alliance's certified patient navigators at 877-422-2030, or visit them online at ccalliance.org. Thank you, everyone, for your questions, but we are out of time. And before we go, don't forget to join us 1 week from tonight on February 17th at 7 o'clock Eastern Time for our 16th webinar, the latest in CRC, findings from the 2016 ASCO GI Cancer Symposium. Join Dr. Laura Porter, medical advisor and senior patient advocate for the Colon Cancer Alliance, for this free patient webinar for a recap of the latest trending information coming out of last month's ASCO GI Cancer Symposium. We will hear why the overall prevalence of colorectal cancer in the U.S. is declining, and we'll also hear about the latest in screenings for average risk individuals and how you can get the most out of your colonoscopy. We'll also discover what drugs are in the pipeline for metastatic colorectal cancer and much more. Registration is currently open. Please visit our website, ccalliance.org, and visit the news and webinar area located in the Get Information section and register now. Thank you for attending. We sincerely hope you enjoyed this webinar. As a reminder, the webinar is being recorded and we will be available for reviewing on our website in the near future. If you would like to be contacted by a particular program, please forward your question or comment to Nancy or I. My email is kbergerson@ccalliance.org. On behalf of the entire colon cancer team, I'd like to thank everyone for attending this webinar. I'd like to thank all the staff for their time this evening. We all hope that you found it informative and value added. Have a good evening, and take care, everyone. Stay well.